Good morning. How is everyone doing on this lovely spring day? First Sunday in March, I believe. Wait, hold on. What? Okay. Be sure and turn your phones off, please, during the service, if you would. I've got that reminder there. We're going to do a spirited version of Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed with Kara Rezegui and Andres Medina here on drums and vocals. If you can, please stand. The lyrics are in your program. And here we go.
Wandering child, love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. And as we're choosing our way, there's a voice inside to guide us along. We are spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led. We are spirit-led, spirit-led. We are spirit-led, we are spirit-led, spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led. Everywhere and always we are spirit-led.
Yes, indeed. You may be seated. We are indeed spirit-fed and spirit-led. Good morning. Yeah, beautiful spring day. Oh, it's glorious, right? A little bit early, but hey, it's beautiful. Yeah, we love it. So I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland-Coen. Welcome to Unity Center of Peace. And to my left is the wonderful Chris Eagle, who will be anchoring us in the meditation and many other things during this service. And we want to welcome those of you joining us online. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, we appreciate you being here. If you would just put a quick, hi, I'm here in the chat, and then we can feel connected and know that you're with us. Okay, so this thing right here will become clear a little later. Little sacred sand is part of the whole thing. You'll find out what that is in a minute. But if you would, as Chris lights the divine light candle here, just take a moment and honor that element of fire, that sacred element of fire. And if you would say with me our opening invocation, which is on that buff sheet in the seat back in front of you, looks just like that, yeah. On there is yeah, and if you're sitting up, it's right behind you. If you'll look at that, and then take a moment and connect in your heart center. Breathe into your heart center. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. Just take a moment and breathe that in. Feel that infinite divine presence that is all around us and within us, connects us with one another, connects us with all life. And it is love, it is peace, it is infinite good right here and right now. And so it is. All right, so we are so excited, I have to tell you, to have a special ceremony this morning. We are welcoming in 7 new members into Unity Center of Peace. Woohoo! And so we're going to do a little service, a little ceremony right now. And if I could have each of the members, and I'll read your name individually. Susan Loic, come on up. Sharon Garfignino, Carmelo Garfignino, Laura Thielen, Bill Thielen. Yeah. Kimberly Wins, and Kathy Bushnell. Oh, look at this. And yeah, okay. I'm getting all up here. I said, whoa, it's a tight squeeze, and I'm like, it's a good problem to have. Definitely. Okay, so these wonderful 7, we're referring to them from this moment on, the wonderful 7. Or the magnificent 7, isn't there? The magnificent 7, right? So they're here because they want to take a deeper dive into their spiritual nature, to understand that divine presence that they are, and to be that light in the world in a deeper way. And they've joined us in the Pathways to Community class. They completed the Pathways to Community course. They agreed to participate with UCP by sharing their time, talent, and treasure according to their inner guidance. And they have agreed to the membership covenant. And that membership covenant is kind of reflected in both our vision and mission statements, which we've all said just now together. Oh no, we haven't said it yet. That's right. We're going to say it. We're going to say it after the meditation. Yeah, I'm ahead of myself. So we say that together. It's also on the front of your program. But our values, our UCP values, we don't talk about a lot, and yet it really is essential to who we are. And so I'm going to read them as sort of the essence of the covenant and ask you if you would agree to these. We welcome and embrace the divine in all. We honor the sacredness of the planet. We consciously practice gratitude. We grow in our consciousness of prosperity, healing, and forgiveness. We invite Spirit to lead our thoughts and actions. We freely share our gifts in loving service to others. We lovingly welcome people of all ethnicities, ages, gender identities, and abilities. We honor and embody the truths found in spiritual traditions and religions from around the world. We embrace the spiritual practices of meditation and affirmative prayer. Our goal is to act with integrity and authenticity. We provide opportunities for spiritual growth for our youth. We take responsibility for our own lives, understanding that we, not others, create our own experience. And we embrace the idea that life is meant to be fun. Do you agree to these? All right. Okay. Thank you. And if I would have Joanne Comas, our board member, and Mary Wiley, our board member to come up, and Mary's going to hand you each a candle. And thank you, Chris, for helping out. That's the divine light candle that we just lit here that really represents that one energy, that one light that we're all emanations of. And if you would light your candles from that one divine light candle.
Your candle, from this candle, you commit to growing in spiritual consciousness and are now welcomed as an official member of this spiritual community.
All right, and Joanne.
Would everybody please stand? Do you, the UCP community, agree to support these new members in their spiritual growth and their service to this community? Please respond, I do. I do. Please join me in showering our new members with our unity blessing. We love you.
We
bless you.
We appreciate you just the way you are. And we behold the Christ in you.
As you return to your seats, please place your candle in that sand bowl.
Yep. It might take really pushing it down in there. Wait. Don't go back yet.
I should have said before you return to your seats.
Here we go. Your certificate, Laura. And we have a little something in that bag that will jumpstart, hopefully, your spiritual journey. A few things. Susan? Kimberly? And Kathy. I'll hand it to you in a sec. All right. So let's welcome our wonderful, our magnificent seven with a big round of applause. All right. You may be seated. Thank you. And we'll keep these. Oh, you need some help with that? Okay. We're going to keep those candles a-burning because that's just an affirmation that we are all these bright lights that are continuing to shine. All right, Chris.
I surrender. Trust and I know as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know. Surrender. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
Allowing that music to just carry through. If you have anything on your laps that doesn't need to be there, would you just put it aside so you can fully embrace this time of meditation? If it's comfortable, close your eyes or gaze softly down and just notice your breath. That wonderful affirmation that runs 24/7 without us ever thinking about it. It's always present and points to this wondrous support that we have through spirit, God, goddess, whatever name you use to point at it. It exists as you. Every last cell of your body already is comprised of the same essence. Every thought that moves through your head, every desire that moves through your heart is also made of this. Just allow yourself to wonder at that. That everything that I do, that everyone does, is made of this same essence. It's beyond anything that we consider matter or energy in terms of what physics knows. But it is so pervasive that it is everything we know and more. Just allow yourself to be in this presence, in this space of wonder and knowing that this essence only wants good for us as us. And let's contemplate that in the silence. From this space, all of the noticings, whether it was birdsong, breathing, stirrings of your heart, all of those are the same essence. And there may be thoughts or people or places that don't yet seem in concert with this essence in this moment. If you would, call names softly aloud as we allow them to be brought into this space. All of these being invoked, as well as those in this prayer box, are held in this same presence, this loving, all-knowing presence. By us asking, we start the cycle of remembering for all of these. It has been proven through scientific studies that when we think of others in loving fashion, that they too get that love in various forms. Every last one of these prayers, spoken, unspoken, written, or unwritten, are held in this same essence. And we invoke the power of love, of will, and power, and discernment to bring these forth in ways that we recognize and allow ourselves to be the truly magnificent ones that we are. And so it is. Allow yourself to open your eyes. I may need to wiggle fingers and toes. And would you find at least 2 divine beings in the room to connect eyes with? It's very easy in this room, and those of you live streaming, maybe you have a pet, those count too. All right. And as Reverend Victoria alluded to, we have a vision and mission, and we're going to say those together now. So you can find them on that order of service, the buff sheet, or on the front of the program, whatever is handy, or on the screen for those of you live streaming. And let's really just say those together from our hearts. Our vision, we envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission, we center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey towards wholeness, and we allow others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is. I saw gung-ho, we got to do this. That's the spirit. I'm going to hand it over to Kara, Chris, and Andres.
So, The Science of Awe is an interesting title, and this song here is an interesting song. It's a song really about awe, really, when you listen to it. It's a bit of a love song, but it's sung very beautifully by Kara Rezegay, who is...
Why you gotta say that before? Now I have to sing it really nice. That's what they're gonna
Well, that was the whole
expect.
point. So you didn't do it like we did in rehearsal with that caterwauling thing that you were doing. So anyway.
All right. Please don't see just a girl caught up in dreams and fantasies. Please see me reaching out for something I can't see. Take my hand, let's see where we wake up tomorrow. And best laid plans, sometimes it's just a one-night stand. I'll be damned, Cupid's demanding back his arrow. Let's get drunk on our tears and God, tell us a reason youth is wasted on the young. It's hunting season and the lambs are on the run, searching for meaning. Are we all lost stars, trying to light up the dark? Who are we? Just a speck of dust within the galaxy. woe is me if we're not careful, turns into reality. Take my hand, let's say the memories bring you sorrow. Yesterday I saw a lion kiss a deer. Turn the page, maybe we'll find a brand new ending where we're dancing in our tears. And God, tell us the reason youth is wasted on the young. It's hunting season and the lambs are on the run, searching for meaning. Are we all lost stars, trying to light up the dark? And I thought I saw you out there crying, and I thought I heard you call my name, and I thought I heard you out there crying, oh, just the same. Oh, oh, God, give us a reason youth is wasted on the young. It's hunting season and the lamb is on the run, searching for meaning. But are we all lost stars, trying to light up the dark? And I thought I saw you out there crying, and I thought I heard you call my name. Oh, and I thought I heard you out there crying. Oh, but are we all lost stars, trying to light up the dark? But are we all lost stars, trying to light up the dark?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Good morning. Good to see all your beautiful faces. All right, so this month, the month of March, we are going to explore a state, that state of joy and bliss and enchantment and amazement and that goose-pimply, jaw-dropping phenomena that we refer to as awe. Let's all say it together. Awe. That wonderful word, awe. It just expresses it really well. It's just like this open sound, right? This open vowel sound, awe. And we're not just going to talk about it or say the word. We're actually going to experience it. And why do we want to experience it? Because the experience of awe gets us out of ourselves. It really erases the boundaries between ourselves and others. It brings us into the present moment and into the presence of the divine. And we're just more apt to notice and experience the sacred. And it opens those sort of doors of perception within us so that we can see and experience the magical, the mystical, if even just for a moment, right? But that moment can be transformational. And it turns out that this experience of awe or increasing the moments of wonder in our lives is healthy. It's healing for our spirit and our mind and our body. Just even on the physical level, the increasing the moments that we experience in awe or wonder stimulate the vagus nerve, which is VAGUS, not Vegas is in Las Vegas. I can't imagine stimulating that. Well, maybe it would like make you crave to go see a floor show or go gamble or something. You know, stimulate that nerve. This is VGUS. And now I don't know too much about it, but I have been hearing more and more about it. And what I understand is that it's the longest nerve in our body, and it connects all the important pieces from our brain into our lungs and our heart and our gut. And when the vagus nerve is stimulated, from what I've been reading, it sort of provokes that relaxation response. You know, your rapid heart rate can be slowed down, and digestion improves. They're also doing experiments of stimulating, using some specific thing to stimulate the vagus nerve that controls seizures and reduces depression. So I have a feeling we're going to be, I see some heads nodding there. Some people know about that, right? I have a feeling we're going to be hearing more about that. It really sounds like an exciting branch of science. So that's just the physical benefit, right, of the experience of increasing the moments of wonder in our lives. And there are 2 guides. These are the guides that I'll be using during this month that have already inspired me. And this is Awe, the New Science of Everyday Wonder and How It Can Transform Your Life by Dacher Keltner. And I heard him interviewed on a podcast, Krista Tippett's On Being. Has anybody heard that podcast, Krista Tippett On Being? I highly recommend it. She has really fabulous guests, and she's very insightful herself spiritually. So look for it. I think you'll enjoy that. So Dacher Keltner, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is kind of this youngish, you know, happy, hippie-looking Northern California dude. And he's a professor at UC Berkeley, naturally. And he has been spending his life studying emotions, moral identity, the search for meaning. And he is the leader, the director of the Institute, the Compassion Institute, or what is it? Oh, Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center. Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center. So, in other words, right up our alley, right? He's our kind of guy. And so, and the second book is called Enchantment, Awakening Wonder in an Anxious Age by Katherine May. And this is kind of her personal journey of rediscovering wonder in her life and how that's really transformed her. And she's a poet. So it's written beautifully. And I was thinking this might be good for like a book study. If anybody's interested in doing a book study around this, you can come afterwards and take a look at it, see if it's something that might interest you. And then, you know, we can talk about when we might want to do that for this month. Okay. All right. So, you know, it's interesting that both of these books have come out at the same time. And I'm reading a lot of articles and hearing interviews around this topic. And maybe it's like something that, I don't know, maybe it's the thing that this anxious, materialistic, out of balance world is needing right now. It could be something that helps bring us back into balance. And so, you know, and also it's kind of, when I first started looking at this, I thought it was kind of weird to take a topic like, or an experience of awe, that ineffable experience of awe, and try to, you know, dissect it scientifically and categorize it and label it. And how do you even define that, right? Something that is beyond words. So Professor Keltner, does a pretty good job, and he says this: awe is the feeling of being in the presence of something that transcends your understanding of the world. Being in the presence of something that transcends your understanding of the world. He also, throughout the book, he refers to it as encountering some vast mystery. And so I think of, thinking about it, I think, well, I could relate to that in terms of that experience that I had the first time I saw the moon or Saturn through a telescope for the first time. If you've ever seen that, it's like, wow, that's like a real thing. It's amazing. Or, now this is something I haven't seen before. Has anybody seen the Aurora Borealis? Oh, you have? Oh, God, it's on my bucket list. Oh, that's right, you've been to, Alaska. Yeah, I really want to see that. Or, something I have done is stood next to a giant sequoia. That's an experience of awe. How about standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon? Oh my God, it just takes your breath away. And I had kind of a similar experience of awe when I first came to North Carolina, and we were visiting to see if we might want to live here. And it was the end of summer, and flying over, looking out, and there's this blanket of green, just everywhere, blanket of green. You know, I come from Southern California, which is like desert, sort of desert. And then, getting out of the plane, and you just look, all these tall, they're so tall, right? They're skinny, but they're tall, and they're all like the same height, and there's millions of them. That really gives me, and it still does, when I pay attention, when I'm, alert to that. It still gives me that sense of awe. And now it doesn't have to be a vast, expanse kind of thing. You can also have awe, and this we're talking about right now in terms of nature. There's other categories of awe we'll talk about, but this is in terms of nature. So, like on the microcosmic level, if you've ever seen just even a drop of water that you think, it's just a drop of water, and you look at it under a microscope, it's like teeming with life, right? Or how about a nautilus shell and the perfect proportions? It's like that, the mathematical Fibonacci sequence that expresses the perfect proportion of a nautilus shell, and also, many other expresses, ferns, pineapples, what else? Pine cone? Sunflowers, yeah. That what? Beehives, yeah. Right, it's that same beautiful, perfect pattern. So I'd like to take a moment and ask you if, in terms of nature or natural things, what has provoked that experience of awe in you? Anybody like to share something? Yeah, Sharon.
The day our first son was born, and this may not be the right way to say it, but this is how it was profound to me.
Yeah.
Food started coming out of my body to sustain my baby.
Oh, yes, right. Okay, I know what you're saying.
That is just...
Yes. Giving birth, and the mother's instinct is like, whoop, you start producing the food that the baby needs. Yeah, I know. It's pretty miraculous. Anyone else? Yeah, Mary.
On a trip out west with my family when I was probably about 12, we came around the corner, and in front were the Grand Tetons.
Oh.
And I screamed. I mean, I was,
Did you
I
really?
just was stunned
Just struck.
how gorgeous that was.
Yeah, the Grand Tetons, Mary was saying, as a child. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, Lorraine.
When I was at the Grand Tetons, it brought tears, but that's not what I was going to share.
Uh-huh. Brought tears to your eyes. Yeah.
Camping in the Grand Canyon on this rafting trip, and I was laying outside at night, and like the stars, there was hardly any black in the sky. It was just like all stars.
Oh, really?
And it felt like there was this merging into me, the light, and it was like I never forgot that. It was like amazing.
Were you young, like a teenager? Or?
No, probably 40s.
Really? Oh, that's great. If you didn't hear that, it was an experience of a rafting trip in the Grand Canyon where she saw when there's no light pollution and it's just, you to see those stars, you just can't believe that they're all there. It's just we can't see it.
I know, all the time.
Yeah, they're there all the time. Oh, wow.
With dolphins.
Swimming with dolphins. Oh, yeah.
Hawaii's wonderful.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah.
Two things in Alaska. One is the silt, the color it turns the river in the Kenai River. It's just
The color of silt?
It's a bluish green that you can't really find many other places in nature.
Wow.
And then the glaciers and being on a glacier.
On being on a glacier, yeah.
It's a blue that just surrounds you and you cannot
Yeah.
get over it the whole time you're on it.
Uh-huh. Wow. Yeah. Do you see how we're beginning, just people sharing these experiences, we're beginning to kind of connect with that experience of awe? Somebody else over here? Yeah, Frank.
Well, I've always been fascinated with the blue sky, the trees, the openness. But the one feeling of awesome was when I was first flying in a little airplane by myself, doing that so-called solo. And I got to do the dream feeling like a bird. And just being out there saying, oh my God, this little thing by myself.
Wow.
And you can see, like you said, the amount of green, the sky, just
Yeah.
how beautiful the world. It was a transformational, it's like seeing the creation. And,
Yeah,
and
from up
realizing
above.
Up
Yeah.
and above, you can see
Yeah.
100 miles. And just the gift of flying, just
The
be
gift
like
of
a bird.
flying,
So
yeah.
that was awesome.
Oh, I know. I remember the first time I went up in a plane and the experience of piercing through the clouds, on the ground, it looks all gray and dismal and cloudy, and then just piercing through that and the sun is there. I use that as an analogy of this idea that spirit is always there, the wholeness is always there, but we sometimes need to pierce through that thick layer, right, in order to perceive it. Yeah, one more, Dolores.
So my husband and I were driving out of the Rocky Mountains to catch a flight in Denver, and we had to be there really early. So as we're coming down, he's driving, and the sun is coming up over the Great Plains.
Oh.
And it was just mind-blowing. It was so beautiful. And here we're in the mountains. We're not out yet. We're still up pretty high. The mountain is behind us, under us, and then in front of us is just that Great Plain.
Yeah.
That you see labeled on the map. You may drive across it, you may fly over it.
Right.
But coming and seeing the sun rise over it was amazing.
Yeah, the sunrise over the plain. So, yeah, thank you. It's and I would encourage us today, if we want a little taste of experience of awe. We've gotten it here just listening to people sharing, but also I would encourage you to walk out in our sacred spaces after the service today. The Serenity Trail, the Medicine Wheel, the Spiral Labyrinth. We had a workshop here yesterday, and we did that. We took a half an hour and walked through that, and it's just so nice to reconnect, that reconnection, especially since all of the little leaves are starting to come in, and it's like the earth is waking up again. That feeling of awe that we want to cultivate. We want to welcome that sense. Okay, so that's one category. So this Professor Keltner has decided that there are 8 categories of awe that he's discovered. This by doing interviews with people, thousands of interviews with people all over the world and in different cultures. So to minimize any kind of cultural bias, from all different walks of life, all different cultures. And so the first one is nature. The second one of the experience of awe is he calls collective effervescence. Collective effervescence, and that's that experience of having that rush, that energy of awe together with a lot of other people. So even people that you normally wouldn't hang out with, you don't even share anything in common, you can have an experience. So think about being at a football game, right? Or a basketball game. And you're there with thousands of other people, and someone makes an amazing pass, right, that wins the game, or some jaw-dropping three-point shot, in a basketball. And what happens? You jump to everybody jumps to their feet, and your hearts leap, and it's an explosion of joy, right? You're cheering. That's collective effervescence. That's an experience that keeps people coming back to those kinds of experiences, to really just have that. And it doesn't have to be sports. It can be sitting in a concert hall, right, with hundreds of other people watching, a concert pianist masterfully playing Rachmaninoff, Concerto No. 2, whatever. And just, the chills, right? You get these chills just all over. Or, it could be, doesn't have to be classic. When I was a teenager, I was in a sports stadium watching, rock bands, Led Zeppelin. Yeah, that was that same experience. I had that same experience of collective effervescence. All right, so we're going to talk more about this one later in the month. The third one is moral beauty. Is that beautiful? Moral beauty. I just love that term. And so this is the kind of experience we get when we witness somebody doing some act of bravery or courage or compassion. Somebody who, steps out of their comfort zone to help somebody else. We're witnessing this, and it gives us a sense of awe. We're going to be talking about this particular one in detail next week. That's what the whole topic is. So stay tuned. The fourth one is musical awe. Now, you don't have to be in a concert hall to have this experience of chills when you're listening to some inspirational song. You could be by yourself or listening to our wonderful band and Kara singing. I mean, you just right? It's that we can get chills. It's that experience of, wow. And I'll bet I don't play an instrument, but musicians, you probably have had the experience where you're in this flow, where you just you're so absorbed in it, so you lose all track of time, and you just feel so connected with each other, right? And then afterwards, you might go, wow, that was great. Let's get to that again. Yeah, I've never played an instrument, but when I was young, I danced. And I remember those experiences of it. Sometimes it flowed so much with the music, like there was no place where my physical body ended and the music began. It was just all so one. So that's the experience of musical awe. The next one is visual design. So think about maybe if you've ever been to Egypt and looking at the pyramids, or the Sydney Opera House, or the Parthenon, or, just think of some architectural wonder that can give us that sense of awe. And it doesn't have to be a vast thing. Again, it can be something really small, like having a little crystal that you hang in the window, and when the sunlight hits it just right, there is, it casts these rainbows all over the walls. I remember when my kids were little, and the first few times that we did this, that crystal was there, and the rainbows all over the, and kids, they're just like, mouths open. Wow. Wow. And then they get a little older and they've seen it a few times. And it's suddenly like, I've seen that before. Where's my computer game? So, the idea is we want to recapture that wonder of just being in the moment, being present to it, and witnessing. Just allowing ourselves to have that experience of wonder. The sixth category is spirituality and religion. which seems obvious to us. You know, we do practices intentionally to get us to a place where we're open to the experience of the sacred. But it is something in all of humanity has that pull, that urge, that perennial search for a state of bliss or nirvana or satori or, you know, mystical oneness, however you define it. Not everybody's aware of that, and it somehow sometimes goes in a different direction because they're not real clear about what that is. But we all have deep in our soul that urge to have that sacred experience of mystical awe. Stories of life and death. And Sharon, you just shared about this. If you've ever seen a baby being born, if you've ever given birth yourself, you know that there's just nothing like that experience. Even just witnessing a birth, a new life coming into the world. Also on the opposite end of that spectrum, you know, when somebody passes and you're close to that person and, you know, we're left grieving, but sometimes in that we can have an experience that's so profound that we know that this is not all there is. This physical body is not all there is, that we can have an experience of the eternality of the soul. I had that experience with my mother. When my mother was passing, and right before she left, you know, she was really focused. Her eyes were really focused on something. And I don't know what it was, angels or relatives or the face of the divine or something, and there was just a beatific, you know, look on her face. And I knew that she was going somewhere that was just beyond any experience of peace and love in that moment. So it was a real awe-filled moment that really transformed my understanding. And I think a few of you have had that experience. Yeah. Okay, the last category is epiphanies. So that's, well, scientific discoveries are included in this category, but also that moment where something becomes really clear, the aha moment, something you've been struggling with for a while, and then suddenly it all opens up and you get it. Maybe it's a metaphysical concept, or maybe it's, you know, like, now I understand why I had this experience or this challenge. And it's just clarity and that aha moment. That's the experience of awe as well. So the experience of awe really effectively quiets the voice of our small self, that small ego self, that nagging voice that kind of keeps us trapped in that fear or doubt or blame or guilt or helplessness or, you know, that need that we have to try to change others or control others. You know, so the experience of awe quiets that, and we're transported to this universal self, that higher divine universal self that connects us with each other and connects us with all of life. And we get to that place where we can notice that there is a perfect pattern at the center of everything. A perfect pattern at the center of everything that responds to our awareness of it. That's what the experience of awe. So we want to cultivate in more and more moments in our day, more and more moments in our life, and allow ourselves to be present to it, to witness it, to allow that experience of awe to just move us. And in all of these different categories, which this month we'll be talking about them individually, and seeing how maybe we can enhance that. So I'd like to close by reading a passage in Katherine May's book about awe. And she says, "Enchantment came so easily to me as a child, but I wrongly thought it was small, parochial, a shameful thing to be put away in the rush towards adulthood. Now I wonder how I can find it again. It turns out that it had nothing to do with beauty after all, not in a grand objective sense. I think instead that when I was young, it came from a deep engagement with the world around me, the particular quality of experience that accompanies close attention, a sense of contact that emerges from noticing. I worked hard to suppress all those things. I thought it was what I had to do in order to grow up. It took years of work, years of careful forgetting. I never realized what I was losing." Yeah, so becoming aware, noticing, being present to, that's what we're going to cultivate this month, together, collectively, in a collective effervescent sense. All right, namaste.
Okay, so let's cultivate a little awe right now. There's nothing like a little chanting and as a group to cultivate a little awe and a little relaxation. So the words are very simple. In the land of I am, say that. In the land of I am, more than I have then I am, more than I have then I am, more than I will be I am, more than I will be I am, all that I am. So we'll do it again. In the land of I am, more than I have then I am, more than I will be I am, all that I am. Try it. In the land of I am, more than I have then I am, more than I will be I am, all that I am. That's it.
I am
mercy through the land. You can't fall from grace in the land. You cannot be hurt in the land. There's more than enough, more than enough. You're always at home in the land.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And songs of all my great grandmothers and the dreams of all my great grandfathers and the way to rise beyond the pain all live in me.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am.
And who says you can't develop awe? Yes. And it's on the tip of my tongue. The French actually have a word for that shiver of delight when you get one of these. And it's like chizon, chivron, or chiffon, or something like that. But I could not find it. Because, of course, the internet is analytical. You have to know what the name is in order to get it. You can't go the other way around.
You don't have to ask Rosemary.
Probably knows I have it somewhere. Anyways, that's not the point. You got the point. All right. So I have to admit, I am an addict of awe. So this has been really great. Thank you, Reverend Victoria. And what can we co-create here as a community? I mean, one of the pieces that we do is we support this community, and one of the ways is financially, because that's how we have currently wired our world. So it's your love that generates and fuels this community. So thank you already for just being here, being part of this. So I would ask that whatever gift you are giving is that you add your awe to it today. However you want to do that, there are many options in the program. You're live streaming, you see all those options, texting, all of that stuff. If you're a conscious sustainer, you can grab the card that's out of the seat back. But would you hold that gift? Whatever that value is, does that match the awe that you want to see in the world? And whatever that needs to be, let's say the blessing, which is on the order of service, that buff sheet on the screen. And let's say that together and really invoke with every fiber of our collective beings this awe. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
Happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm aware of all my blessings, so much love I can't sit still. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. Happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm happy, I'm joyful, I am fulfilled. I'm
because we got all of this to bless. Feeling into this. This presence, these gifts, together, change the world. Add that zest, that awe to everything they touch, moving out into the world, brightening it, bringing it forth for the giver and receiver alike. And we know that this is a flow, not a set thing, so it continues through the planet, coming back to the giver in the ways that delight them and come forth again. And so it is.
Look, we still have our candles all freshly glowing there. Beautiful. And so I want to just say thank you all for being here, being in this energy. There's nothing like being like in person to experience that energy that we all share that makes that connection together. And we appreciate you who could, those of you who couldn't get here today, watching us online. I'm so blessed to know that we actually have this system that can help you continue to be with us online. And if anybody is joining us for the first time today, please raise your hand and the greeters will come by with a packet of information. We write down here, video over here. Thank you for being here. If you would fill out the blue card that is on the top on both sides and return it to one of the greeters, there's just a little something that we want to give you in that. And we have a wonderful fellowship, wonderful refreshments after the service that are going to come into this. Oh, no, we're going to do it outside because it's a beautiful day. Absolutely. So we welcome you to join us because that's a good time, relaxing time to get to know you a little bit more, for you to get to know us. And again, if you're joining us online for the first time, thank you for being here. Just say, hi, I'm new today, and our wonderful greeter, Mel, will share some information with you. All right, one more time. Bright Matters.
Another chance to get a group awe going here. I'm sure you will recognize this song. I was going to say it was an old hippie song because I'm an old hippie, but it's just a very nice song. And young Miss Kara Rezegi is going to sing it.
They say everything can be replaced. They say every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining, yes, from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. They say every man who needs protection. They say every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above these walls. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, I shall be released. Give it up for Chris Whitenack on the keys. Give it up, give him some love. Give it up for our dear friend Andreas on the drums. We're so happy you're here. in this lonely crowd. A man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him shouting out, crying out 'cause he was framed. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. One more time, let me hear you. I see my light come shining, yes, from the west down to the east. With your heart, any day now, any day now, I shall be released. I see my light come shining, oh, from the west down to the east. Oh, any day now, oh, any day now, I shall be released. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
We may not have a stadium, but we have bright matter. Yes, Kara, Chris, and Andres. Thank you. Thank you too. Anyways, that's coming up. Hopefully deciding to turn on. Yes. All right. So it's a new month. And what do we get to do in a new month? You got it. You're well trained, you're hired, either you're getting into this awe thing or something. Awesome. Anyways, so let's use March birthdays as the name. And for those of you in the room and those live streaming, who's got an actual birthday in the month of March? Raise your hand. Woohoo! See at least three in the room. 4. One upstairs. All right, awesome. And live streaming. Take it away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, March birthdays. Happy birthday to
We were very glad you were born. So, sorry, live streamers, but we will have extra treats outside afterwards, so partake of those. I'm sure it's going to be sweet, but I don't know quite what it is because they change it up every once in a while and they don't tell me. Anyways, we're getting to this. Let's see if we can get this all up. Yep. Well, that's not quite what I'm aiming for, but yes, that is pretty. So, nature awe, there you go. So coming up March 18th at 7:30, right, in this room, we've got the Kennedys. So rather than me just talk about it or something, we're just going to beam them in a little bit so we can play that. So give me a second here to get this running. We'll do it this way. All right. See what happens when we play this.
Fire burn on the hillside. Thought you were safe until the flames were at your door. And later on, the bitter rains brought on a land
you can experience that and a lot more March 18th. Tickets are less expensive if you get them early. So you can go to unitychapelhill.org/events for more on that. So moving off to something else, Reverend Pat Venema has a new class coming up the day after. She is also speaking on the 19th as well. Okay, so Saturday night you come here for the concert. The next day you come and you evolve the Bible. Now, most people don't think in those terms, but hey, we're on this leading edge. So she'll give you, if you have any beef about the Bible, this is a person you can lean into. She's wonderful on all of this, and she will go into this on metaphysical interpretation, all of that good stuff. So if this is something that speaks to you, there's more details in your program, and it will be happening then. Also, we've always got social media going on. So if you would like, review, share, all of those wonderful things, please do that. That does help. And also, after every service, we have what we call our 3-minute miracle. So if there's something in your head or on your heart or in your projector, you can avail yourself of this with our trained prayer partners. And today, Joy Bell is our trained prayer partner, and she will be down at the end of the hallway to the left. And then also, after the service, after you get your snacks and all of that, we have our deeper dive discussion. And today, one of our wonderful 7, Carmelo Graffinino, is facilitating that, and that happens at the end of the hall to the right. So again, avail yourself of all the wonderful things and bring it in. And then one last thing is the We Got Your Back team has a new contact for this month. So we change it every month. So we've got a point person, and Chris Whitenack is taking care of us for that. So if there's anything in that realm, let him know. Okay, it looks like we have some children to bring in.
I am the radiant light of God, I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant light of God, I am, I am, I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, vim of God. I am the radiant light of God, I am, I am, I am.
Good morning, everybody. And you're going to have to adjust the mic because I'm not speaking today. These come up, and they're going to share what we did today.
Today we read a book about excuses and how to not have them and stuff.
You want to tell why?
The book, we read a book, it was about excuses and the strengths and weaknesses. And we built a tower. It was kind of like Jenga. And even when it fell down, we still rebuilt it, yeah, instead of just giving up.
And the book was about sea turtles. This girl gave up because all of her friends and family doubted her that she would be an archaeologist with sea turtles.
And if you want to see our awesome treehouse we made upstairs, you can go on and see it. It's really cool.
So what we're working on, we're going to go through the 12 powers. So this month is on strength. So what it was, before we could build strength and persistence and hang in there and stick to itness, we first have to deal with our excuses. And once you get the excuses out the way, then you could be persistent And that's our spiritual growth, really, those negative thoughts. So we'll grow spiritually with strength this month.
Let's bless these children, the children of the world, the children inside of us, with our blessing that's on the order of service if you don't have it. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are, and we behold the Christ in you. Wow. So you can go find some seats, parents, fun, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to ask, if you're able, if you would stand so we can do our prayer protection with I am statements and then the peace song. And that again is on that sheet if you don't yet know it. All right. So let's start with the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me be with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so it is.